When I was the bread earner, we used to role play. She'd dress up as a nurse. I'd get into it. It was great. Now she wants me to put on what I would describe as a Speedo with an elephant trunk covering my penis and act out scenes from The Lion King. You know, we used to do things like she would make me feel special, and occasionally we would try things that are a little risque, you know. You all know what I'm talking about, the anal sex, you know. And it never really bothered her too much because I'm more like 3 inches of pure pleasure. She barely even knew I was back there. But the other Saturday, I walked into the room and she looked at me and she said, "Have you ever heard of pegging?" And for those of you that don't know what pegging is, I'm about to blow your mind. Because she didn't ask me if I knew what pegging was like she wanted to know what pegging was. She asked me if I knew what pegging was like she had already bought the strap-on and we were going to try it that night. I did what any man would do, and I tried to oblige her because, after all, she is the bread earner now. And what really got me a little discouraged was, as I mentioned, 3 inches of pure pleasure. She came at me with 8 inches of pure torment. It made me feel a little insecure about myself, to say the least. The thing that really set it off was the next morning when I walked into the living room to make my bowl of Rice Krispies. My daughter looked at me and I was walking a little funny. And she asked me, she said, "Dad, what's wrong? What's wrong?" And my wife cut her off. And she said, "Daddy had an accident last night. But I fixed him and he's going to be okay in a couple of days." Then she looked at me and slapped me on the ass and said, "Go get him, Tiger." And she asked me, she said, "You didn't even know I was back there, did you?" And I'm going to tell you, she's been wrong before, and I'm sure she'll be wrong again. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That's my time.